So let's set the scene. The NFL, halftime show, millions of viewers, the biggest musical stage in the entire world. And who do they choose to headline in 2026? None other than the Puerto Rican global superstar himself, Bad Bunny. And honestly, are we even surprised at this point? The man has gone from dominating Spotify, crashing the charts in multiple languages, wrestling in WWE rings, dating Kendall Jenner, to now being the guy in the middle of America's biggest cultural spectacle, bigger than the game itself for some viewers. The only thing left for Bad Bunny to do is run for president, and honestly, half the internet would vote for him without asking what his policies are. This announcement dropped in classic Super Bowl promo fashion during halftime of the Cowboys vs. Packers game. A teaser video rolled in, and suddenly everyone watching dropped their nachos. The screen lit up with Bad Bunny sitting on a goalpost by the ocean, sunset glowing behind him, with that cool, effortless vibe he always carries. No overacting, no fireworks needed, just him sitting there while words appeared. Super Bowl LVX, Apple Music halftime show, February 8th, 2026. And then it hit. Bad Bunny is officially the main event. X, imploded within seconds. Some fans screamed, "Finally!" Others were like, "Wait, who's Bad Bunny?" and immediately got roasted online for pretending they live under a rock. Now let's talk about why this is such a huge deal. The Super Bowl halftime show is the one gig in the world where you don't just perform for fans, you perform for literally everyone's grandma, their dog, their cousin who only listens to country, and that random uncle who insists the Beatles were the last good band. And Bad Bunny, he's the first solo Latin artist to take the stage in this way. Sure, Shakira and J-Lo blew the roof off in 2020 with their joint show, but this time it's one man, one global star carrying the culture, the legacy, and the entire weight of expectation on his shoulders. And if there's anyone who thrives on pressure, it's Benito. In his announcement, Bad Bunny got sentimental, saying this isn't just about him, it's for those who came before, for his people, his culture, and his history. And honestly, it's true. He's not just another singer headlining. He's become a cultural ambassador, breaking barriers with every move. Remember when he dropped a Spanish-language album, Un Verano Sin Ti, and it stayed #1 for weeks? Or when he sold out arenas faster than Taylor Swift? The man turned reggaeton, trap, and Latin rhythms into mainstream must-haves. He's not bending to the industry, he's making the industry bend to him. And the NFL knows exactly what they're doing here. The league's been making calculated moves for years, diversifying halftime shows to bring in new audiences. After Rihanna's Baby Bump reveal in 2023, Kendrick Lamar's critically acclaimed 2024 set, and Usher's Vegas-flavored spectacle in 2025, they needed someone who could not only top the hype, but also bring in younger global audiences. Enter Bad Bunny, the most streamed artist in the world 3 years in a row. Imagine the audience numbers. If you thought your mom didn't know who he was before, trust me, she will after this. Now let's get into the fun part, what the actual show might look like. Because Bad Bunny isn't the type to just stand in front of a microphone and sing. This is the guy who's shown up to red carpets and skirts, rocked painted nails before half of Hollywood caught on, and entered WWE with a flying leap off the top rope. The man doesn't just perform, he commits to chaos and spectacle in the best way possible. So what could he bring to Levi's Stadium? For starters, the setlist speculation is already going wild. Sounds like the Di Mi Pone Munto, the Kiri, Caíta, and Me Porto Bonito feel like must-haves. Imagine the entire stadium chanting IHL QMDG at the top of their lungs. But then the question is who joins him on stage, because halftime shows are never just one person. Even Beyoncé brought out Destiny's Child. Even Dr. Dre shared the spotlight with Snoop, Eminem, and Mary J. Blige. So who's standing beside Benito? Some fans are betting on J Balvin because their collaborations are legendary. Others think Cardi B might pop up for I Like It, which would instantly send the internet into meltdown. And then there's the wild card. Could he bring out Drake? The two have history, and Drake never says no to an opportunity to flex in front of millions. Heck, knowing Bad Bunny, he might pull a double stunt and bring out both a Latin legend like Daddy Yankee for a nostalgia hit and a mainstream superstar to bridge worlds. The options are endless, and the NFL loves a surprise moment that makes headlines. And let's not forget about the visuals. Bad Bunny's music videos are practically mini films. Picture a halftime show where Levi Stadium gets turned into a giant Caribbean beach party, sand and palm trees taking over the field. Or imagine neon visuals, glowing motorcycles, and surreal effects that look like you're stepping into one of his album covers. The man once performed on top of a moving bus in New York City. Do you really think he's just going to walk on stage and sing? No, he's going to transform that stadium into his universe. Now, of course, with big news comes big reactions. Social media exploded. Some fans cried tears of joy, tweeting in all caps that Latinos won today. Others were like, wait, who's Bad Bunny? And immediately got roasted online for pretending they live under a rock. Now let's talk about the hilarious wave of people predicting what chaos Bad Bunny might cause live. Like, will he bring Kendall Jenner out on stage? Will he randomly announce another world tour mid-performance? Will he body slam a referee just for fun?
This is the same guy who once dressed in full drag for a music video and went viral for making a statement about gender norms. Whatever he does, it won't be safe or predictable. That's the point. It's also worth mentioning that this halftime show marks Bad Bunny's only US performance date tied to his upcoming world tour, Debí Tirar Más Fotos. Meaning, if you want to see him in America, you better tune into the Super Bowl. That scarcity makes it even bigger. He's not just giving us a concert, he's giving us the moment, the only one. Think about the bragging rights. I saw Bad Bunny's only US performance in 2026. That's marketing gold. Of course, with hype comes pressure. People still talk about Prince's rain-soaked halftime show in 2007, Beyoncé's Power Outage in 2013, and Usher's Vegas-flavored spectacle in 2025. Bad Bunny now has to deliver a set that lives up to those moments while also carving his own lane. But if there's anyone who thrives on topping expectations, it's him. Remember, every time critics doubt him, he goes bigger. They said Spanish albums couldn't dominate globally, he did it. They said reggaeton couldn't headline Coachella, he did it. Now they'll say a Latin chop star can't own the Super Bowl stage. Spoiler, he will. And can we just take a second to acknowledge how surreal this is? A few years ago, Bad Puppy was making mixtapes in Puerto Rico, uploading songs to SoundCloud. Fast forward, and he's sitting on top of the world, literally shaping cultural consciousness. He's the guy who told us estamos bien and made us believe it, even in the middle of chaos. He's the guy who used his platform to highlight Puerto Rican politics, gender equality, and Latin pride. And now he'll be the guy uniting the most American tradition, the Super Bowl, with the global power of Latin music. That's history in motion, and honestly, it's about time. For years, the halftime show is criticized for being too safe, too predictable, too focused on the same handful of genres. But now, we're seeing a true shift. From J-Lo and Shakira bringing Latin fire, to Usher showing up unapologetically pregnant, to Usher scaling across the stage, the halftime show is finally reflecting the world we live in. Bad Bunny isn't just performing, he is setting the tone for the future. So here we are, counting down to February 8th, 2026. The Cowboys and Packers game may have been the official setting for the announcement, but let's be real, the real game has already started. Bad Bunny versus the world's expectations. Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California, millions of eyes, millions of ears, one stage, one man, and a whole lot of history to be made. And when the day comes, whether you're tuning in for football, for commercials, or just because you lost the remote, remember this. You're about to witness a cultural moment, not just a concert. Bad Bunny isn't just performing at the Super Bowl. He is the Super Bowl. So buckle up, mark your calendars, and maybe start practicing your Spanish because come February, you'll want to sing along. And trust me, your timeline will be full of clips, whether you watch or not. This halftime show you do not want to miss. And with that, don't forget, subscribe to Inside Hollywood for all the latest gossip, updates, and behind-the-scenes chaos. Because if you think this announcement was big, wait until you see the memes, the surprises, and the fallout. Bad Bunny is about to make Super Bowl history, and we'll be right here covering every second of it.